Me, I am a memoir. I said a memoir. We're going deep. We're going down to deep into the regular verse. Oh yeah, the regular verse. Regular.
And then everyone's like, why is the car off? That's the beginning of the podcast. Welcome back to Me, I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey, but the regular verse.
Why are we here? Everyone knows that we're in the regular verse because there was the terrible singing at the start. Zombie verse.
I had to keep going. Of course, yeah. People, I wonder if someone's actually listened to this podcast for the first time on like our latest episode, which maybe happens to be a regular verse episode.
Oh my God.
And they're like, oh my God. Or people are listening going, oh, you know what? I don't hate Posh's one as much as I thought I did. I used to hate that, but now I don't hate it as much.
Posh's singing was too much, but now I realise it could be really bad. I should re-record it in the style of Big Number 2.
Yes.
Really?
I feel like my microphone has decided to run away from me. So if I'm butting in and out, just bear with me. But we had a big break from the regular verse, and we are back.
We are back.
Dragged kicking and screaming.
Yes.
But that means that we're just going to have to dive straight into it because we're going to have so much news, so much regular news with Prolo moments.
So Jennifer, her regularness, went to the Met Gala to celebrate the fashion stylings of the late misogynist and infamous fatphobe Karl Lagerfeld.
Was she dressed as a cat by any chance?
Look, she wore a strip of fabric and heavy eye makeup. She didn't take Batfleck with her, obviously, because she respects fatphobia.
I'm worried, just when you said heavy eye makeup, is that just on the eyes or everywhere?
I think the whole body. She had one of those cat eyes where she drew it all the way out to her ear.
So she was his cat. Great.
Yeah. But yeah, she's really respectful of Karl Lagerfeld's fatphobia, and she didn't want him spinning in his grave like a rotisserie chicken. So Ben stayed at home. She took her vocal coach, Stevie. You know, her regular +1? Like,
oh my God. She has a vocal coach.
Yes. Remember the vocal coach was the one that posted her singing All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Oh, yeah. I don't think she had it on this album.
Yeah. No, I don't think Stevie, like, I think vocal coach is like flowers for the star on a on an invoice for a publicist.
Okay.
Flowers for the star generally means illegal substances.
Oh, interesting. So I didn't know that. I can't afford a publicist.
Yeah. What are you doing down there, possible Prince X? You need flowers for the star. Anyway, Stevie, her vocal coach, in inverted commas, was her +1. Her younger sister, Linda, was at the Met Gala after party, and they did grams with each other.
Is that the flowers for the star kind of grams? Or
No. Instagrams.
Yeah. Right. What are we now? We're accusing her of doing all sorts. I just realized.
You started that.
Don't sue us, J-Lo. I'm sure it's just water and tea and healthy supplements.
No. And Stevie is her vocal coach and also beard. So
wait, how does that work?
Just because she needs someone to hang around with her when it's like it's not that Ben and I had a fight. It's just this. I wanted to hang out with my GFF. Anyway, so Linda Lopez, who's a radio announcer and journalist, she and Jen did some Instagrams together, and they had the filter turned all the way down from 50 to 15. And Linda calls Jen her original BFF. implying she has moved on to a better one since then.
Yeah, and his original sibling term for regular.
Yeah, my original BFF. Not anymore. She doesn't return calls.
I haven't seen her for 40 years.
No, she saw it recently. Apparently, the last time Linda Instagrammed her sister, much older sister, was at Jen Lo's 52nd birthday, and that Instagram was in 2021. So if you know anything about maths, that officially makes her much older.
much older.
Much older. Now, I'm wondering if the reason she didn't take Ben to the Met Gala is because he was not a great date at the Grammys earlier this year. I know it seems weird that Jennifer would be invited to the Grammys, but if we remember, they did once give Milli Vanilli a Grammy Award for having someone else sing their songs. So she's perfectly on brand to be there. There's a very viral moment from the Grammys where Trevor Noah is hosting the show from sitting next to Ben and J-Lo, and they're quite clearly having some sort of disagreement where he whispers in her ear and she slaps him.
They're just so regular, so real.
So real, and chastises him, and then realises that Trevor Noah is doing something, so pretends to laugh like she knows what's been going on the whole time.
I love that it sounds like you said, so she knows what's going on as well. She knows.
Trevor knows. She knows the Noah.
I mean, she's a good actor.
She's
so
a very
she
good
spun
actor.
it.
She looked like she knew what the joke was, even though she had NFI.
There was no joke. That's the award. She wins the NFI award instead of the AFI award.
And Ben tried to laugh, but he doesn't have, he just couldn't bring himself to do it. Like this half smile.
Tired.
Anyway, a lip reader had a look and worked out what she said.
Was that lip reader you?
No.
Was it you hiding a little squirrel?
Oh, no, if it was me, it would be... I'm so glad I got that firecracker sample. And he's like, stop going on about that.
25 years later.
No, apparently she said, stop, look more friendly, look motivated. And he goes, I might. Apparently is what the reader claims.
I might. I'll think about it.
There are other reports that say she was telling him, no drinking.
Oh my God. Well, he's sober, isn't he?
He is sober. So if he has to be told, one wonders how bored he was at that particular event.
And I'm now wondering, because, he is also an actor.
Yes.
And when he says, I might, I wonder if he only comes to life when he's acting. And maybe the rest of the time, he's just, like Battlestar boxed Lucy Lawless. When they get put away.
Yep.
That's, I think, what happens to Ben. And then, and that's when Jen found him and was like, he's perfect.
He's perfect.
He says nothing. He doesn't do anything.
He's
Great.
completely silent. He's like a robot. Now, look, speaking of J-Lo husbandos, we are about to do a regular album that was recorded after she married Mark Anthony. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Mark Anthony is a Virgo. Now, this could be because of him or because she's a Leo, and Leos and Virgos should not be compatible.
Oh.
So I don't know what she was thinking marrying him. But apparently J-Reg will not hire a Virgo to dance on her tour.
Is this the dancers? I heard about this.
So according to Heather Morris, who was Britney on Glee, and also was a backup dancer for Beyonce. If you saw any of Beyonce's single ladies when, on an awards ceremony or live when that song was out, it was probably Heather Morris in the background. So, she's got some cred. So apparently she was auditioning with a whole bunch of other dancers to go on a J-Lo tour before the Beyonce thing happened. And they'd all spent a full day auditioning for Regular Jen, Not From a Block, Don't Be Fooled by Rocks tour. I think that's what it's called. And at the end of the day, Jen just said, can all the Virgos put up their hands? They did. And then, like the weirdest episode of Idol, she's gone, well, she didn't say it. She whispered in someone's ear and everyone else out, thanks for coming, guys. It's been great. Bye. All
Was it
Virgos
Ben?
must
Stop
go.
drinking and get rid of the Virgos.
It's go away.
See, this is painful because I, Posh, sitting right here, am in fact a Virgo.
Oh, no.
And this is not a new thing. People hate us.
Yeah, because you're
incorrectly
tidy and
so.
organised. And
Right?
people like me just want to be slobs. And it's like, no, don't come and pick up my socks off the floor. That's where they belong.
So, you know how I'm in many feuds? Mm-hmm. I mean, now I have to be in a feud with regular people, which that could get
regular
messy.
feud. What a boring feud.
It's a painful moment in my life where I have to even be in a feud with my best friend Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, no.
Because she ranked, like, on her talk show or, you know, like a digital moment, the star signs, and they're like, what's your least favorite? And she instantly was like, oh, yeah, Virgo. And I was like, I'm sorry, me and Beyonce, I might add, are both Virgos. What are you talking about? Yeah. And we're not like different ends of the Virgo-ness. Like, we're like right 2 days apart.
You're not a cuss.
I mean, I'm towards a Libra, but as in Beyonce's 2 days before me.
Yeah.
And a couple of years. Don't get it twisted. But the thing that makes me really
older,
much older Beyonce. But the thing that's so stupid, I don't believe in any of this, and yet I still feel like I get my back up. Like, hang on a second. I'm a Virgo. And then I feel like I need, you know, like, I don't want to overdo it in a Virgo sense, but I need to list the reasons why she's wrong, and then get like you know, we interrupt this program to tell you the Queen has died and Kelly Clarkson is sorry to all Virgos kind of apology.
That's not
like bad. I don't know.
Certainly, look, maybe there's an apology in this week's email from J-Lo. Let's have a look.
True. Yeah.
Are you okay being signed up for this? Like,
it's a lot because they're coming through. Like, we're only on, I think, maybe this is the fourth one. So we're turning back time a little bit. This goes back in time, but I just felt we needed in order. Yeah. To get the full. It's like a mini series within.
Yes.
Our weird spin-off.
Yes.
So on the J blog, as I'm calling it, we open with 3 simple words. Mm-hmm. We did it.
Oh, no.
It's very Valerie Cherish. Like, I got it. Well, I got it. I got it. I got it. We did it. So, Regular and Bengular have tied the knot.
Bengular.
Which we see in a photo that appears to have been taken on a Nokia 3310.
Oh, my God.
It's like a wedding photo. It's a whole thing. Now, J-Lo allegedly typed some stuff about love being patient that is so generic, it made me want to try out being patient. Sorry, I mean a patient in a mental ward.
Was this one of the things she had printed on her Instagram affirmation boards that she had down the aisle?
Probably.
That terrible font that Canva font that everyone uses.
Oh, I hate all of it. Then she tells us that the wedding was exactly what they wanted. Flying to Vegas, other people, standing in line.
Oh, the Vegas wedding. The Vegas wedding.
This is the Vegas wedding.
Not the colonial...
That'll happen. That'll be probably in the next one. I haven't read ahead, so I don't know what's waiting for me.
Oh, okay.
It could be interesting. But I just love that she's like, I stood in line. I'm just so regular. I'm so real, you know?
She's just so real. From the block.
Now, behind them were some gay people who I assume were Jen's hairdresser and stylist. And in front of them, a young couple who'd made the trip so that their 2-year-old would no longer be a bastard.
Oh, my God.
This is all real.
She says
like,
this?
Behind her, she's like, no, I say that. But it was like something about, it was their daughter's 2nd birthday, and so they finally decided to get married. They thought, let's stick with this. Oh, I always love when people say, like, we're not ready to get married. I'm like, you have 8 children. Like, that's a bigger commitment than getting married. You can get divorced.
You say that. And then there's Nick Cannon. So I don't know that it is much of a commitment having kids now. I think it's just spreading your seed.
He finally someone ruined heterosexuality. We got there. Why? No,
it's Nick Cannon's baby batter flying everywhere.
Oh. Stop it. so gross. It's still so wrong.
The Regularverse.
Now, you wouldn't believe it. They barely made it to the chapel, what with Ben's constant second thoughts. But miraculously, they got there.
Oh.
Sans won... Yeah, I know. Sans won Elvis because that costs extra. She actually said that.
What?
I know. Elvis costs extra. And also, as
Become
I
a
added...
tight ass at the last minute.
She's like,
She's getting married in Vegas.
Well, she has a grown child now, so she has to be careful. Yeah. He wants to make his movies, so she has to fund that. But yeah, Sans won Elvis because that costs extra, and also he's dead. So with a dress from an, sorry, I don't know if anyone told her Elvis died. So with a dress
was
from
it Austin
an old
Butler?
movie,
Is that why it was so expensive?
Well, nice, yeah. Well, let's be real, she would have probably married him instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. That's a fair call. So with a dress from an old movie, this is actually what she says.
Oh my God.
And a jacket from Ben's musty closet. That's what I said. They gave each other the rings they'll wear for the rest of their lives, or until Ben ages out and Jen hires a new dance instructor. Now, Jen
decides to go backwards and marry Chris Judd again. Like she's going to...
No. Maybe the first one that we don't know. Remember that first one?
Yes, that first one when she was a fly girl. Yes.
Because honestly, I really just want her to come back around to Mark Anthony. That was my favourite. So
yeah, no, I think he's the middle point, and then
around.
she goes backwards from there. Like she starts because she had kids with Mark Anthony, so she feels old. So now she's aging backwards.
And then she'll have to go forward again. So she'll have to marry Ben again later and then get back to Mark. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how time works.
When she gets to a point where it's like, oh, I need to be taken serious for roles and I have to play grandmothers now, I'll start moving forward in time again.
Yeah. I feel like Mark Anthony's going to be one of those people, though, who kind of has always looked older, but he won't age anymore.
No, he's...
Like, he'll just sort of stay where he is.
He'll be frozen.
Now, Jen thanks the Little White Wedding Chapel for letting her change in the break room, while Ben was ushered to his favourite place, the men's room. This is legit what happened. Like,
oh my God.
Jen tells us they were right when they said all you need is love. Jen's not sure who they are, but maybe someday someone will tell her. It's the way it's written. It's like, they were right. I don't know who they are, but them, whoever
they
people
can say anything they want to say. Try to bring me down.
Yeah, they are always saying all you need is love. Why are those people over there always saying that?
Always.
So that's what I'm imagining is going through her head as she's looking into his dead eyes. The aisle, like at the altar. Like, who said all you need is love? Who was that?
Was it Elvis? No, we couldn't afford Elvis. It can't be.
No, that cost more. And he died. I just found that out.
I hate this wedding so much.
We get some more nonsense about love being a thing. And then she signs off with love, Mrs. Jennifer Lynn Affleck.
Oh, God.
But wait, there's more.
No, please don't have any more.
Because
that enough being in this verse.
That was just the written componentry of her assignment. She also had to do some visuals. So there's photos and stuff. But
she did a presentation.
They're the worst. Yeah, it's like, this is Jennifer Lopez. She should have the newest phone.
Yeah.
But everything is from the oldest phone you've ever seen in your life. So we get a muffled video of J-Lo in her wedding dress.
Did she put lip gloss on her phone or something? She wears a lot of lip gloss. It's probably all over the inside of her handbag.
Yeah. Her handbag is just a lip gloss.
Yeah, she puts her face in there.
Oh, no.
I'm ready to go.
You were going to go there. Okay. And it's not lip gloss, it's placenta. But anyway.
Oh my God.
That's how she gets her youthful glow. It's probably Nick Cannon baby batter. So we get muffled video of J-Lo in her wedding dress, somewhere that is more in line with a J-Lo perfume ad than a Vegas chapel break room. So I think we either had some creative license or she brought a team in to fix it.
I think she might have done a pickup. later on
probably.
somewhere
like, I'm
else.
in the bathroom. We then see Ben in his change room, which is very much indeed a piss-stained men's room.
Oh, good boy.
It's just gross. Why are you showing us this? We then finish up the post with some fun selfies in which Jen looks pretty and Ben looks like he did at the Grammys. And a quick snap.
I've had
A quick
enough.
snap of some kids. Yeah, a quick snap of some kids in a car who I assume came from one of them. Not sure. And that brings us to the end of the J blog. So it's just so nice checking in with her.
Oh, yeah.
Just seeing how real she is.
So real.
You know?
I thought we'd had enough of the wedding. I'm done with the wedding.
No. Well, because we're going back in time. I could have skipped ahead, but I was like, we need the full
No, yeah, I get it.
full
I
experience.
get it. Well, we'll have more of that next week, I hope.
Oh, yeah. But this means that it is time to get the lowdown on the down low.
Getting the lowdown on the down low. All right, we listening is a strong word. Listening to the album Rebirth, which was released February 23, 2005. And, 2005 is an interesting year for Jennifer because just as she managed to ruin glitter with her first forays into the pop world, I think you'll find this album was completely obliterated a couple of months later when The Emancipation of Mimi came out.
Interesting.
So that just putting you, just if you want to remember what time it was, the time was Mariah, and this was not J-Lo's time. So the album debuted in the US, steaming at number 2. And the next week dropped to number 4. And as word of mouth about the album got out, it went to 7, 20, and then was out of the Hot 100 by June. It just scraped into the Australian top 10 at number 10 overall.
We were kind of thinking.
Yeah, we were thinking, okay. Now, apparently it's called Rebirth because she took a step back from her career after the disaster of Ben Affleck. How ironic that we're talking about the disaster
I know,
of breaking up
it's
with Ben
crazy.
when she's now called Mrs. Affleck, and we've just heard about
I remember
her in
us
the
talking
toilet.
about this when all the rumours came up, going, this isn't real. This can't be real.
And it's
And here we are.
It's really real. So in the meantime, she's married Mark Anthony. You can remember her singing teacher from a couple of albums ago.
Yeah.
That one
who could get her to sing.
Yeah, that one song. Also, she loves getting married. Like, this is like her 4th trip
She does.
down the aisle with
Yeah.
Mark Anthony. I mean, she didn't make it all the way down with Ben
She
until
didn't make it, but yeah.
Yeah, it would have been her 4th. So it was like
Close
her
enough, yeah.
third marriage. Anyway, she loves a wedding, even if Elvis is not available.
Even if he died like 30 years, 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah, 1977. So now this is Jennifer Lopez album Rebirth. She's not J-Lo anymore because J-Lo wasn't a real person. Apparently.
She's not real.
She's
I'm
decided
real.
that J-Lo
But
is not a
J-Lo
real
is-
person, but Jennifer Lopez
Do you know what's funny?
is real.
I do remember when that title was J-Lo was
Yeah.
mentioned, and she did actually say at the time that's the album name. It's not. It's Jennifer Lopez, J-Lo, but it obviously took on.
Yeah, but then why market
You know,
your
the
perfume as
nickname.
J-Lo Glow
Yeah,
if that's not your real name?
obviously 2 minutes later she was like, "Oh, I'll just use that. Everyone's calling me that."
Yeah. I mean, do you think she was going for a Sasha Fierce bit of business and it just was not, like, it didn't take?
Sure. Maybe it was a way of like, because that second album was the one with the features all of a sudden, which
Yeah.
hadn't really happened on the first one. Maybe it was a rebrand. Maybe it was a rebirth.
Yeah.
All the way back then.
Anyway,
So this is rebirth.
This is rebirth. It's more afterbirth than anything. So,
Don't skip ahead to my album renaming.
placenta.
This is when she got her first bag.
All right, the first track on the album is called Get Right. It is written by Rich Harrison, Usher Raymond, Hello.
We have some Law and Order, don't we?
And James Brown, produced by Rich Harrison and the now ubiquitous Corey Rooney, who produces everything. It was a single, hit the amazing heights of number 12 in the US.
Oh.
And then dropped straight out of the charts again. The reason you're
back,
surprised at that is that it was number 3 in Australia.
This was a hit here.
It was a huge hit here. The reason Usher and James Brown are on there is because the sax line, the looped sax line, is from a James Brown song.
Yeah, that's James Brown.
And
do you want me to go into the Law and Order?
No, we can do it later. But as I said,
Usher?
the whole entire song was originally an Usher song called Ride. Yeah. So, but we will get into Law and Order. But before we get to Law and Order, the Regular Victims Unit, and find out just what is going on with Usher's name being in the song credits when he probably had not that much to do with it. Because it's a single, there is a video.
I forgot that I have to do this.
Hang on, every single time.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
No, I've got a new tune.
Oh.
I've had nonsense. 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 It just goes.
The most memorable thing about her songs are not the lyrics or the vocals. It's a sampled saxophone line. All right.
Hit me.
Jennifer Lopez works as a series of wigs. The first wig is taking her little sister with her, and then her other wig is counseling someone that she clearly hates and is wearing too much eye makeup and lip gloss at a gay club, wearing the worst lip liner in the history of lip liner. Then she gives her little sister some headphones that causes her to do some dancing with a mobility assistance device.
What?
There's a crutch and she dances with it.
Oh,
like it's a pole.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's not okay. As someone who's been using one of those this year, I'm sure she's just faking it to get a seat on the bus. But
you actually just fell so you could have more reason to hate her.
Yeah. Look,
you say, that video is coming up. I better have a fall.
I just have to say, if someone needed a walking stick in this video, it makes no sense to me. You can't do a slut drop if you need a walking stick. I'm slut.
You just can't get back up.
I'm slut drop shaming, not slut shaming.
Sure. Fair.
It's very different. Anyway, then her regularity wears a furry parka with a midriff for those times when it's cold outside, but you need people to see how many sit-ups you did today. Then J-Lo is a nerdy girl at the club who has a lot of bobby pins in her hair and has recognised a large-haired other J-Lo that just walked in. So nerdy glasses J-Lo, who has plain hair, pretends to have friends even though she's patently alone. And she waves to Kardashian Lo, who waves back. Are they going to become lesbians? Yes. She said she was at a gay club at the start, and there's only seem to be women at this club, so they must be lesbians.
I was a lesbian.
So then, too much eye makeup Jen, with a wig that cascades down past her world famous musical butt, jumps on the bar to dance, and I've realised this must be a lady gay club because they're all lesbians here. That's all we can say.
Yes, I hadn't put that together.
Yeah. So, gay club bar dancing Jen jumps around in front of a wall of TV screens where midriff Parker Jen, who has more bangles on than is humanly possible, also jumps around. And they're both flicking their wigs as if to say, look how strong my bobby pins are. Now, tragic lip liner Jen pushes her way through the club and is not very compassionate to short blonde wig Jen, who's carrying a tray of drinks, and then drops them. I think we're meant to think that pushy lip liner Karen Lopez bumped her, but they keep cutting to midriff Parker Jen on the TV show who's showing off her pneumatic hoop earrings. So I can't really tell if that's what was meant to be going on or it's very confusing. But anyway,
this video is like a cute setup for what could have been a video.
Yeah. Anyway, I think lip liner Jen, who looks the most lesbian of all of them, is mean and has pushed nice Jen, the bartender, who was trying to be compassionate in the toilet before going off to serve drinks. I think she pushed her. Anyway, it's hard to tell. Then tragic lip liner Jen has an argument with a man. Why is there a man at this club? Who looks suspiciously like a fitter version of her ex-husband, Chris Judd. And she touches his face, and I'm disappointed because, I thought we were in a gay club, and tragic lip liner Lopez was the most convincing lesbian in this. And now it seems like she's been queer baiting us this whole time. So I don't know what's going on here. This is...
no.
Anyway, bobby pin lonely lesbian Jen with no friends orders 2 drinks from, I suspect, short blonde Jen with a spilled drink tray, but it's not clear because she doesn't actually turn up. They honestly look like the same Jen, but one has just more bobby pins.
Which means they're going home together.
Yeah. I think the bobby pins are left over from when she was flicking her wig around. She's like, well, these really work. I'm popping them in as a character.
Yeah.
She really looks like the same Jen with reorganised wig and some glasses. So it's even more confusing when aggressive lip liner Karen Lowe pushed her way through the crowd. So now Kardashian Jen is yawning. Clearly, neither bar dancing, hair flip Jen nor midriff Parker on the TV Jen are interesting enough to keep her awake or attentive. She is a very bored lesbian. Bobby pins and glasses Jen takes off her heavy cardigan and starts fanning herself. She's excited. And she's wearing a string of pearls. And I really hope this ends like St. Elmo's Fire. You know, when Ali Sheedy's character finally has sex with Andrew McCarthy in the shower but keeps her string of pearls on for the whole time.
I have no idea.
Amazing. Sure. Pearl sex. It's everyone's favourite. Shower pearl sex from the 80s. So bobby pins and glasses Jen pretends she's talking to more people who we can't see. She's like alone in a corner and they've not bothered to hire any extras for this moment, or they ran out of budget and all the extras went home and they went, we want you to look like you're having fun. So she proves that she's fun. So she sucks back the entire drink of whatever she's ordered. Then waitress Jen, who, you know, is wearing bobby pins wig on backwards, doesn't give 2 shits about all this fun that's being had. Meanwhile, the little sister in the DJ booth is singing along to the song, even though this is the first time she's heard it.
Yeah.
What is going on? I hate it when that happens.
Also, little sister, like, what's the age gap? 45 years?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's like, okay. I do with my little sister. Sure.
My mum had another
what we tell them, darling, isn't it?
I ran away from home when I was 18, so I wouldn't know what my mum was up to. Then Kardashian Jen appears to be making eyes at nerdy bobby pins and glasses Jen, but this clip is mega confusing, so she could just be looking in a mirror or at the firecracker sample and loving how much it ruined Mariah's life.
Oh, God.
Bobby pins is up and really hooking into the booze, and she's worn a peach dress that is a size too small because her boobs are making the buttons pop open. Bar dancing Jen is continuing with her neck injury wig dancing, and waitress Jen is looking at her in admiration. At least 2 of these lesbians need to scissor each other by the end of this clip, or I want my money back.
Can you scissor with such a booty? How does that work?
I think you can. I think the booty might suction cup it to itself, and you might create some kind of a rift. But I'm pretty sure you can have a good old crack.
That's how the Regularverse was born. That's how we tore into Almost Home.
So I feel like, you know, something is maybe going to happen with bar dancing Jen and waitress Jen, and then I realised, no, she just wants a drink. Very disappointing. So waitress Jen makes her one, and then she's using the post-mix gun to make a drink, and I realised that is the wettest thing in this video, and I'm very sad. None of these girls are juicing for each other at all. Oh. None of these Jens are into these Jens.
And if Jen was going to be into anyone,
it would be Jen. I know.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh. Then there's a rando dance break on the TV screens where Jen is dressed as how people probably thought the lady Doctor Who would look back in the noughties. She's got like a big belt with chains on it and a cravat and a tweed vest and knee-high boots and jodhpurs. It's like, oh, look at me. I'm properly Space Doctor Who. Then DJ Jen, who's got the fluffy wig, changes the song back to the one that's been playing the whole time. Like, the song didn't even change, but she's changed the song and everyone goes crazy. The whole club goes crazy. They're all raising their arms like, whoa, this is the song we've been waiting for all night. This is the same fucking song that's been playing all night. It's the same. It's just, it's a sax sample and you can barely hear someone singing over the top of it. So I know it's too much. And either they don't realise it's the same song that's been playing for the last 4 minutes, or they're relieved that the annoying dance break is over that was on the TV. But they're excited about something. Anyway, waitress Jen gets forced to dance by many men. And I don't understand how this is a gay club now and why all of these men are trying to get a woman to dance who's meant to be serving drinks when, like,
maybe they thought she was one of them.
Priorities gays.
Maybe it's a gay for everyone.
Priorities gays.
It's gay for everyone.
Yeah, but if she's dancing, she's not serving drinks. That's just... No gay club would let that happen. Like, it's just...
That's true.
It's just impossible.
They're distracting her so they can steal from behind the bar.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, they're poor gays.
Yeah, they're us.
Yeah. Okay. It makes sense now. Thank you. You've explained it to me.
Yeah, you're making it. Low-splained.
So Bobby Pins and Glasses Jen with the pearls is convincing nobody she's having a good time because there's nobody near her. And then we see the back of severe lip liner Jen, who is still pushing away around the club like she has somewhere to go. Like, she's just, I think, looking for the pool table.
I need to be over here.
I think she's looking for the pool table because she wants to crack someone over the head with a pool cue. And then bar dancing Jen and fluffy wig DJ Low are having fun. Apparently, they seem to be enjoying themselves. And then it ends with a little girl singing the song, and fluffy wig Jen comes over to look at her. And I think we're meant to be surprised that this is also Jen, even though, because we haven't seen her face before now, we've just seen her big fluffy wig. But we knew it was her because she was talking with her own voice at the start of the clip, and we know what Jennifer Lopez sounds like. So this is not a surprise that this is also Jen. And
now I'm going to throw a spanner in this.
But wait,
by saying
there was no scissoring, and I'm very disappointed by the whole thing.
That's fair. I'm always disappointed when there's no scissoring.
So what's your spanner? Give me a spanner.
My spanner is going to be in that reveal. Is that J-Lo or is that Wanda Sykes? Because
that's a lot of hair.
We had some problematic tanning going on.
She had a lot of very dark makeup on. Yes.
That last shot, I was like, this is... I thought that was the reveal. Like... Oh, it's blackface Jen.
She's wearing an afro. Like,
she's wearing yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's blackface hair.
It's not great. But yeah, I thought, well, it is a gay bar, so it could well be Wanda Sykes.
It could be.
You know,
maybe.
But if it was, you know, we'd get full scissoring.
Yeah, we would get actual.
I think Wanda would be like, in a J-Lo video, I'm going to scissor someone.
Maybe the full name of the song was once "Get Right Out, You Racist Bitch."
That's what it was.
Ironic that later on she got married at a plantation.
In that wig.
Oh my God. Singing Mammy.
No. I don't know what that is. Do I want to know what that is?
No, it's what black and white minstrels used to sing.
Oh God.
Once upon a time. Now, the song itself, we're meant to have opinions, and I do have one, and that it is that this is a bona fide banger. But it's the sax loop song. She's just saying things vaguely in tune somewhere down in the mix. But
because I didn't think you would like the sample. Because I think he called it a car alarm at one stage.
It does sound like a car alarm. But it's like the song as a whole is fun. But I do have some further opinions about this song, which I will reserve for when we talk about it again later in the album, because she's nothing if not lazy and just putting the same song on twice.
I mean, we might be modelling ourselves after someone less regular in that one, I wonder.
Yeah, no. The one that's on later is the same exact song
I know, that's true.
With a feature on it.
We're lazier, yeah, for sure.
I have a theory about why it sounds like it the way it does.
Okay.
But that will come up later. But how do you feel about the song before we go to Low in Order?
This was one that I remember when it came out. So I've got a story when we get to the end about this time in music.
Yes.
But it maybe wasn't, aside from Mariah, this was no one's best era.
No.
And so I remember when this came out going, it's been a while since she'd released anything.
Yes.
This may not be enough.
A step back.
Yeah. And yet it was a big hit.
Well, number 12. It's hardly big.
No, but here in Australia.
Oh, yeah, number 3 is big. Yeah. And it was on a lot on the video.
And it was on a lot. I feel like it was 3 for a while.
People trying to work out whether she was, in fact, a lesbian at any point in this video.
Yeah, where's the scissoring?
Did Ben drive her to lesbianism, is what people were wondering. Even though she's married a man in the interim. Did Ben drive her to lesbianism?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Mark Anthony would be a cute lesbian, so
yeah,
I'm here for it.
Yeah. They would have done some
I feel like initially... It would have been a very big scissor and then a little kid's scissor.
Big scissor and little scissor. Who's going to be big scissor and little scissor?
Well, the one with the booty is the big scissor. This is so stupid. So I feel like at the time I enjoyed it enough. I might have had the single, but it wasn't my favorite of her singles, if that makes sense. But I will say, like, since then, it's such a song in dance circles. Like, this always comes out probably once a year.
I remember this being one of my favorite moments at the concert that we went to.
It was a good, I think that's the other thing.
It goes, moment.
Yeah, it goes really well live. It was really good in the Super Bowl. I don't know. Have you seen the Super Bowl?
No, I'm saving that for when we have to.
When we have to do it, yeah. Again, it's just so recognizable. Yeah, it's very recognizable, and it's amazing how within that sample, how many beats are within it. Like you can actually, it doesn't sound like it would have that much depth to it, but actually it does. And so I've done a lot of dancing to it, and so as soon as I hear it, I'm like, ooh, fun! I'm gonna dance. So it's certainly come up for me in the years, even though I wouldn't say it's my absolute favorite of her singles. If that makes sense. But so, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, also I think it's she's mercifully not tried to sing it. Like, she's just spoken it. Like, she's just saying words. Which,
as I've said, that's where she fits.
Yeah.
Get someone else on the chorus and just speak some words, J-Lo. Yeah. Great.
Yep. Just chat your way through the verses and hire a professional singer for your choruses, and you're fine. Yeah.
So our Law and Order special regular victims.
Regular victims. There's nothing special going on here.
No. Our rumour is J-Lo stole Get Right from Usher. The fact, not really true, but kind of true. A little bit true.
Yeah.
So what we know is that Usher wrote a song called Ride that didn't make his Confessions album. His co-writer and producer, who was Rich, decided to rework it for J-Lo as Get Right because he'd given a different song that J-Lo wanted, which is One Thing, to Amiri, who has one song called One Thing, and then we've never heard of her since. But Usher found out and was like, I better get me some publishing, thank you very much.
Pop my name on it. Pop my name.
Right. It is unclear as to whether he got publishing, but since he is credited, I would say that
that means he's absolutely, like,
is in it.
He's got one word, one third.
That's it. Because having listened to the Usher version, it's clearly the same track and the same bridge.
The absolute identical song, but it has some singing on it.
Well, that's true. But I thought, like, everything else I thought was actually more different than I expected. I kind of thought being called Ride, it would just be Ride. Yeah. Like, it wasn't. But that's probably more to do with Rich.
Yeah.
But from what I can tell, it didn't feel like Rich was doing him dirty. It was more like, oh, we've kind of got this track. Just give it a try, old mate.
Yeah. I think it was a case of like, it didn't go on the album and Rich is like, I want to make some money out of this fucking thing, you asshole.
Absolutely, yeah.
Giving it to J-Lo, and he's like, I could have still released it. Because like, his version is quite, like, the production is, it's identical. Like, there is, like...
Yeah, the actual instrumental track, for sure.
Like, it just... they've just replaced Usher with J-Lo. Like, there is literally no extra work being done. Oh, they've changed the melody, but some of the lyrics are different.
Not heaps different.
But not...
I mean, all the lyrics except for the bridge are different.
Yeah.
I thought that they would be... I didn't think they would be, so I was surprised that they weren't.
But the song is the same song, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then... So I just said that I thought maybe Rich didn't like Usher and thought it would be funny to give J-Lo a hit song with a song that he couldn't, pardon the pun, get right. And I have an Ashanti update.
Oh, excellent. I love an update. Touch on.
I didn't know. I only found this out recently. Ashanti was actually in the Ain't It Funny video. So all of this talk about war, she was in the video.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God. Like,
she's just there hanging out.
She's just there hanging out with Jar and J-Lo and someone else.
Oh my God.
On a couch. I know. We were so shocked by everything else going on. Must have missed it. I was like, so they're probably best friends now. So it's all been fixed. Everything.
Totes best.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Yeah. I mean, Ashanti's probably making a lot of money out of having her name
for sure.
on an album that people bought, even though it was terrible.
It had 3 or 4 good songs, maybe. But yeah, there we are. It seems that of all of the Law and Orders, this isn't maybe as severe as some of the past ones.
All right. So I'm Real. What percentage do you think was J-Lo? Was it high, mid, or low?
I've sort of gone mid to high low, like around 70%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of help on that chorus.
Oh, yeah.
But all the spoken stuff is help.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same, mid low. But I think she's so far down in the mix. I couldn't get to high.
Yeah. she couldn't get to high.
No. So she's very mid low. And are you pro low or no low on Get Right?
I am pro low on this one. I'm not like all the way like deep down in pro low, but I'm pro low.
No, you're a couple of fingers into pro low. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're half a scissor.
Delicious. I'm a left-handed.
I'm fully full double scissor into Prolo. I'm
heaven.
Yeah, it's a fun song.
It's been a while,
but like I say,
Prolo to anything.
This song is a saxophone sample song with a guest feature by J-Lo talking in between.
Yeah. But I don't think you proloed anything on the last one, so that's very interesting.
I think didn't I get onto a cusp? No, I hated it all, didn't I?
I think you kind of liked I'm Glad. Like,
yeah.
Video particularly, but kind of liked that one.
Yeah, but only barely. All right, we're on to the next track, which is called Step Into My World. Yes. Which makes me instantly think of Kylie Minogue's Superior, Come Into My World. Step Into My World was written by Rodney Jerkins, Darkchild, Delisha Thomas, Uncle Freddie Jerkins III, and Hector Diaz. Produced by Darkchild, Uncle Freddie, Hector Diaz, and Corey Rooney, who is the vocal producer. So Corey is all over J-Lo. Like, they do all their work together.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Step Into My World?
You know what? I actually liked this. I think she's doing a bit of a whisper thing instead of whining, which does work much nicer. I said there's a few times that she almost tips, but they mostly keep it in check, probably because Corey was there. Yeah. So there's a lot of help on the chorus, but she is still in there.
Yes.
I said it doesn't necessarily feel like anything new, but it feels like a better version of this kind of thing.
Yes.
And kind of knowing what I know about the rest of the album and how the single rollout happened, I was kind of surprised that this wasn't a single. But I said Fab will hate her attempted high note towards the end.
And I did.
Yeah.
I basically said the Darkchild deep bass production, great. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, always love it. And I feel like there's actually a decent song here, and it is ripe for someone who can actually sing to come in and just tear it apart. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine Gwen Stefani getting her hands on this?
I love Gwen Stefani.
Like, imagine Gwen Stefani, Dark Child. Like,
yeah, we never had that.
this would be a meaty piece of work for her. Anyway, I appreciate Jen using her breathy voice, the one that sounds great when she's singing in Spanish. I thought that was a really sensible way to go because...
Sensible, absolutely.
But this is not the song for that.
Oh, you didn't feel it?
Well, because this song's got like this urgent tribal beat and it demands a hefty voice, and she has no heft. Like there is...
Well, that's... All the heft is in the butt.
Yeah,
so
and there's none in the vocal cords. Like,
there's no heft left.
There's no heft left for the vocal cords. But yeah, I just... Because the beat is so good and the production is so kind of big and urgent and tribal, and I just felt like the breathy vocals just were letting the rest of the song down.
Interesting.
But yeah, I just thought like this would be just someone with a decent bit of guts in their voice. This could have been this would have been a single as opposed to whatever this is.
Yeah. I will say, like, probably more than any of the songs, when I hear the title, I hear the song.
Yeah.
For this one. Like, I remember it because I guess what we're saying a little bit is J-Lo needs well-written songs.
Yes.
That's what she needs. She doesn't always have them, and then she can't elevate them beyond that.
But yeah, I just... This is going to be a constant refrain on this album. Times when I think someone else would have been better singing this song.
Interesting. Well, I mean, that could be her whole discography.
So yes, I'm going to throw together a dream album at some point of who would be better at singing J-Lo songs. The J-Lo tribute
we'll do what
album.
We just did with Mariah. But yes,
J-Lo tribute album.
The best J-Lo songs sung by real singers.
Sung by people who actually know what they're doing. So what percentage of the song did she sing, do you think?
I went back and forth on it. I'm stuck to mid-low at 50. I just thought there were times and I'm like, oh yeah, this is all her, and then I was like, there times, oh, where'd she go?
Yeah.
But I did say the bits she does, I did enjoy.
Yeah. I think it's high-low. I think there's a lot of her, like that breathiness.
Really?
I think there's a lot of, and that note at the end is definitely her.
That's definitely
that attempt that she makes to sing the song right down at the end. So I think high-low, about no-low for me. Like, as much as I really enjoyed this song, I just... you can't spend an entire song wishing someone else was singing it and then say you like it.
Yeah, true. That's fair enough. I went pro-low. I did enjoy this one. The chorus is the best bit, which is where she's probably not on it as much. But when I hear it, like you said, it's not necessarily like, oh, this is my favorite J-Lo song.
Yeah.
But I like this song.
It's a good Dark Child song. It's not necessarily a good J-Lo song.
So maybe I'm just pro.
Just pro.
I'm pro step into my way.
But not pro low. All right, our next song is Hold You Down, featuring Fat Joe, written by everyone in the world. Gregory Christopher, Gregory Bruno, Makeba Riddick, Joe Cartagena, and Corey Rooney. Also written by Larry Troutman and Billy Beck, who wrote a song called As We Lay for Shirley Murdoch, which this samples. Produced by Nice Boy, Gregory Bruno, and Corey Rooney. This was a single. This was,
which
released, and it hit the heights of number 64 in Australia. I mean, in the US.
Oh. Where did it hit? Did it hit Australia?
In Australia, it was number 17. What were we thinking?
Oh, we really were.
We went top 20 with a song that didn't, barely made a dent in the Hot 100 on Billboard.
Which, for comparison, Kylie's Get Out of My Way, which is a very popular song, didn't get the top 20.
No.
So, interesting.
This was approaching a hit. But there is, of course, a video.
Okay. If I have no obsess, 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 etc.
You've left yourself nowhere to go there. All right.
Just repeat it in the edit.
A city. Jen is standing on the roof in a fur coat and baseball cap and boots that seem mostly to be made out of strings. She's got double hoop earrings, and then she says something about the hood, so we get to see some footage of people hanging out in the doorway, but it's cold, so they're blowing on their hands. Fat Joe is hanging out at a Rolls Royce. He says something about sweeping floors, and then J-Lo's hanging out in a hallway. Then Fat Joe is replaced by a painting of Big Pun, who's passed on since the three of them worked together on another piece of shit song. Feeling So Good from On the Six. Perhaps he died of
Which,
shame.
by comparison... oh, no. Big Pun did not. I was just going to say, for Feeling So Good, I was like, this makes that look like a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. Then we get some schoolgirls.
Pun was the teller.
Hanging around. Schoolgirls hanging around. Jen's back in the hallway wearing the biggest hoop earrings in the United States and a T-shirt that says fuck off. But someone's realised this won't get played on TV, so they've covered it in gaffer tape. But we can still read it. She didn't want to do hallway hair, so she's wearing a bandana, scarf, turban thing, and a lot of lip gloss. So much lip gloss. The hallway is slippery with it. I'm surprised you can stand up.
That's where you fell.
That's where I fell. I fell over on the lip gloss hallway into a lagoon. Then she's on the roof in the fur coat again, and it's freezing cold. We can tell because steam is coming out of her mouth. But her hair remains steadfastly straightened. I suspect a wig. Because she would have gone frizzy by now if it was that cold.
True.
She's singing and pointing. It seems all too much for her. Now Fat Joe's singing and pointing and talking about Rakeem and Jodie Watley. Don't bring up someone who can actually sing. That is mean, Fat Joe. Then there's some footage of the suburb, and then Jen's in a big old wicker chair like she thinks she's Blanche from the Golden Girls out on the lanai. Fat Joe's here in the room with her. Her hair is super curly and super supple. Her legs are poking out of a sheer dress, but she's got a tracky top on. What is this look, Jen? Home from the Grammys and got a bit chilly? Now she's got some religious knickknacks on the shelves. They've taken a detour to an op shop. Now Jen and Joe are hanging about in a vacant lot, pointing again. She's wearing gloves this time, and Princess Leia plaits and allegedly singing high notes. More religious knickknacks and kids hanging out in the lane. Jen does some weird sexy thing in the hallway. Has she heard this song?
They filmed the video before the song was recorded.
There's nothing sexy in this song. There's like a slow song. Why is she doing a gyration? Then she's back in the Golden Girls wicker monstrosity and has changed into a white ensemble to lean on the Rolls Royce. Then Jen does some clapping with gloves on, as if that's going to make a noise. Have you ever clapped with gloves on, Jen? Nothing happens. Nobody's explained that to her, obviously. Then some girls...
Well, that's how she sings as well. She just walks in, opens her mouth, and they're like, we'll put it in later.
We'll do that in post.
It'll be in post.
Yeah. We can Foley your voice.
Oh, man.
Then some girls in poofy white dresses and tracksuit chops show they've learned a very bad lesson from Jen about tracksuits and white dresses. Oh. Jen and Joe wander off into the weeds at the back of the vacant lot. Not sure why. Going to tell those kids off for hanging around in their doorway maybe. Or make sure those schoolgirls get to class. That's the video.
I'm impressed that you managed to get that much out of that video.
Really nothing happened.
But the one thing that was...
I was more distressed about poor Big Pun who died of shame of the last song.
I know. But you missed the 6 train.
Yeah, I know.
On the 6, it was in the back.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to... Like, it was bad enough that we were being reminded of Feeling So Good.
Yeah. Although at this point, being reminded of that album, we missed that album.
Well, that's true.
They're like, I missed that album.
It's got Let's Get Loud on it. Heading for tonight. It's got some good songs. Look, I'm just going to jump into how I feel about this song. Do you mind? Her vocals are horrific. Like, I feel like this was meant to be auto-tuned at some point and someone forgot. Like someone was just like,
oh, shit.
Yeah, just put it out like it is. It's fine. Like no one's going to listen to it anyway. It's
apparently they did in Australia.
Relentlessly bad. Like her singing is relentlessly bad. The song is relentlessly bad. Like Fat Joe's fine. But I do suspect, like here I have a theory, right? I suspect that when he was doing the remix to It's Like That with Mariah, she told him that if he ever had to do a regular song again, to name check an actual singer, hence the Jodie Watley reference.
Oh my God.
And I remember that Rakim and Jodie Watley song, which was called Friends. You remember Friends are hard to find, friends. You know that song?
No,
it was a great song. I mean, I'm old. But it's about people being two-faced. It's like, it's a song about friends stabbing you in the back, basically. So
Mariah has been planning this since 2001.
What is Fat Joe saying here? Like, this is a song that mostly he's talking about J-Lo having his back and then making a reference to a song about backstabbing. Like,
yeah, she's all stabbing.
Is this in the Law and Order Regular Victims Unit? This backstabbing conspiracy theory?
We don't have anything for this one.
No. You know, like what else? Do we have any mysterious theories about Big Pun's mysterious death at the age of only 28 years old?
I'm going to leave that one alone.
No, he died of a heart attack. He was over 300 kilograms when he died. Like, the causes are true.
It's very sad.
It's very sad. And although he must be in heaven, very pleased not to be associated with this piece of shit, given that he was stuck on the other one that was horrible. Anyway, production's weak, vocals are weak, the song is dull. This should never have been a single. And it's a perfect sequel to Feeling So Good.
Oh my God. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready for my...
How do you feel?
Imagine if I was like, I love this.
Imagine if you were.
No,
I know you've got some musical taste, despite...
I don't know if I've said this across either podcast. I hate this song. It's not that it shouldn't have been a single. It shouldn't exist. It should not be on an album. It should not have made the album. Even Jen should have a little more taste than this.
Yes.
But Joe doesn't really bring anything to it. Like you said, the vocals, everyone sucks on this album. On this song. I said, is it Christmas? Oh, those weird digital organ instrument noises aren't great.
No.
It was sort of like All I Have Part 2, but no good at all. I said, this is just super boring and not a good song at all. No one showed up for this one.
Not even the guy who runs the auto-tune.
No. I said the weird whoa-whoas in the background sound like they ran out of people to rip off or sample, so they just sampled J-Lo making noise. I said this is the first single of hers where I have been like, absolutely not. Like, we've talked about a lot of garbage, but the singles are always pretty strong.
Yeah.
But this is such a horrific misstep. And I said, it goes forever. I said, she does try singing on the bridge. If only she did that on a good song. And I said, the only thing I want held down is my head in a body of water. So please, if Fat Joe and J-Lo could come along and hold me down during this song.
You know, the worst thing is
great.
It's meant to be a tribute to Big Pun. Like, you know, like Fat Joe's talking about how, you know, Jen rang him when she heard that he'd passed on. Like, she rang Fat Joe. Like, that's part of his rap. And, you know, it's meant to be this really heartfelt tribute to someone who's passed away. And it's just like I feel like you're sullying his memory. Like, this is... I mean,
this song has no melody. There is... No. I don't know what this song sounds like.
I feel like he would have come back from the dead and died again just because of this song.
He came back to say, shut up.
And then Big Pun. Like, he's just like... He's in that other awful song, and now he's been dragged into this without consent because he's dead.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I feel like Feeling So Good at least had a decent chorus. Like, I remember how that goes. Jen wasn't really singing on it. So I remembered that. That was one that stuck in my head, even though I
also had a
it.
terrible film clip that just kept going and it was relentlessly bad.
It was on the 6 as well. It was all on the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is trash. I hate it.
Awful.
I hate it so much.
It's awful. Well, we know whether you're going to be pro Lou or no Lou, but before we get there, what percentage do you think she sang? Is she?
Well, now it's funny because I'd written it was mid-low, kind of 60%, but then you're like when you were talking about her vocals, I was like, maybe it is all her.
I think it is all her. I think it's more her than we've ever heard before. Because it's like there's some bits where like you're just like, fuck, this isn't even in the same key, is it? Like it's just like she's sliding around all over the place. Like I think I don't know how this got released because like it feels like no one was paying attention while they were producing it.
Literally not. And also, like I said, there's no melody. So again, we know she can sing songs when she's heard the melody before and someone sung it for her.
Yes.
But obviously
which
no
also
one
will become apparent further on in this album.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But we are like so far into this episode and we're only 3 songs in.
Oh,
do you think we should
I think we need to abandon ship now that we are
push some regularness to next week to give ourselves some therapy.
And poor Big Pun.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out of our podcast.
Get the fuck out.
Just walk away.
Walk away.
You tacky regular bitch.
Regular.
Get the fuck right out of my face.
Regular bitch. All right, we are almost home. We've just popped out of the Regularverse, but we're diving back in next week. We will have the rest of this alleged musical piece of work from the Lopez, the Rebirth, next week. So yeah, sorry for keeping you in the Regularverse for a whole other week.
I know.
It's a tragic.
It was just a lot. It was a lot.
And R.I.P. Big Pun, and I'm sorry you had to hear that wherever you are.
I'm sorry we had to hear that.
All right. Bye, Emily.
Bye.